The mountains of Hakone are
the steepest in the world. Yes, let's do this. Oh boy.
Alright, let's do this.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 117 of Jobless Weebs. My name is Marco, the Beer Mexican.
And I'm Brian.
So good to see you again, Brian. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. Just glad I can make it. I have been sick for a while, so that's always good. I've been listening to an audiobook for quite some time. Kind of an uneventful week, which is pretty good, I think. Yeah, not too much is happening. So yeah, it's pretty good. Ooh, yeah. How's it been with you? I heard something about your tires.
Yeah, it was interesting. So I've been having problems with my car. The tires, I have the tire pressure thing on.
Oh,
And I just
okay.
been spending a lot of money on air. And earlier in the week, one of my tires was kind of flat. So I was like, heck. Like, I'm gonna try to see if I have, some Black Friday deals and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
So I did go to Walmart, got 2 set of tires, but it was gonna take a while. And the closest Walmart is from home. It's like 3 miles.
Oh,
So I was thinking like,
So
hey, I can go home. I can run.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Because I used
okay.
I used to run.
Ah, well.
And it's
yeah.
related with what we're not gonna talk about today.
Yes,
so
yes,
I just
yeah.
found it funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I was like, oh, it's
So
just
3
3 miles.
Yeah.
It's like no
it's
big
not
deal.
too
I was able to run like 3 miles like in 16 minutes or less.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, when I was in my prime, meaning when I used to work out,
Oh.
meaning
Wait,
more
what?
than a year and a half ago.
Wait, you haven't been working out? No. I didn't
Man,
know that. I thought you just always been working out, like after work.
It's like I've been
no
checking
way.
the past thumbnails from our podcast, and it looks like I just ate myself, and I'm like, man, I'm so like. That's why I changed the chair, and I have this little more loose chair, because otherwise
I do remember
you don't
when
see
you
my
mentioned that.
my fat body, and I'm like, man.
Oh gosh.
Especially because the camera doesn't help, because that thing has like 20 pounds or something like that, and
It's true.
I swear that it's just one camera, but it looks like I put like 3 cameras on top of each other. So,
What?
but anyways,
Oh,
so
yes,
yeah,
yes.
I was like, yeah,
So you ran.
it's like 3 miles, no big deal. I think I can do that like in 16 minutes as well. And my naive me who like, it was just right out from work. I had a backpack with me with my work laptop. And I had some shoes, clearly not meant for running, and jeans.
And jeans. Oh gosh.
Man.
Like all of those things relate to.
Oh, and
the
I was
anime
wearing
we're
a
talking
jacket,
about.
and
Oh no.
and I was like, man, it took me like half an hour.
Oh, okay.
And so that was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, man, I was dying. My whole body was sore, and I was like, man, I thought I was.
Dude.
I mean, not like the main character in the anime that we're gonna talk about today.
Yes.
But I was like, man, I might be worse than Prince.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh gosh! Right. 30. Yeah, 3 miles and 30. Oh gosh! Dude! But that's incredible. You did it with the backpack, and well, it wasn't too cold either. So that must have gotten pretty hot.
Yeah, halfway through, I just took
yeah.
my jacket, but I was like, man,
Wow.
this is so pathetic. It's like, I'm not even the shadow of what I used to be.
Oh no!
Because yeah, I've been looking at the pictures. It's like, man, my neck looks thicker. And like, no.
Oh no!
But
Wow. Well, that's pretty amazing, though. I haven't really ran for a pretty long time either. Wow.
Man, I like running, but when I got my current job, on my previous job, it was just like a 10-minute commute from work to home. and now it's like an hour commute, like both going in and coming back.
Yeah.
So yeah, those 2 hours, I used to use them to work out, and now it's like, oh man, I'm just not in the mood, and
no, yeah, most of the day is gone anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, I should just try to be more disciplined, because I have like, oh, you know what, I want to make all the Beat Saber videos like 2 a week, and working on that personal project that I have, that the date is December 27th.
Yes.
And a lot of other stuff that I definitely would have time.
Oh yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know if I want to squish like some time to work out. I've been kind of like, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what's 20 more pounds? It's like, yeah,
20.
no.
Oh gosh. Dang.
Some of my shirts do not fit, so it's like, dang, I should probably.
Oh man.
But
wow.
But so today we have.
Oh yeah.
We have an anime that it's really special to me, because I actually watch it sub and dub.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And oh boy, it was like, man, I like, it's kind of like, that feeling of like, I should run again. Like one of those animes that is like, get your fat body out of that chair and start running.
Yeah, getting gear. Oh man, it certainly is really, really hype. It's like high intensity, and yeah, it really, really moved me. It made me remember a lot of my high school days, because I ran track back then. But yeah, nowadays I don't even dream of going out there.
Right?
But it did hype me up. I was like, dang, this is
like it opened my eyes to reality. I was like, yeah, I could do
Yeah.
that like 2 years ago, and I'm like, I'm so old and fat and out of shape.
Oh yes.
That, this anime is called Run with the Wind.
Yep.
Or in Japanese, it's Kasega Tsuyoku Fuiteru. This is based off a novel, and it is from
the novel, 2006.
The novel 2006. Okay, yeah, the anime is from 2018.
Yep.
And it also has a live action movie adaptation, which I have not seen yet.
Me neither. Yeah. Apparently 2009 for that one.
2009. Okay. But the anime was great. It's actually 23 episodes, and man, it doesn't feel like 23 episodes.
It doesn't. I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I was like, oh, I'm already past the 10th episode. What time is it? It was incredible. Yeah. And I just kept watching. I watched a lot in the first day. So yeah, this was my first time coming to this anime, watching it. I remember, I think you did mention it back when it was airing, or maybe just a little after it was airing. I think you told me a little bit about it.
Yeah, and I think I did mention a little bit in one of the early episodes that we had.
As well. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, going.
It's been a while, but it definitely, like, it's a good one. Like, the soundtracks are perfect, like, for the environment, just like to keep you, at the edge of your seat.
Oh yes.
Because a lot of times that music, man, was like, man, what's going on? It's like, this music seems like it's like something bad is about to happen.
Oh yes, yeah. Keeps you at the edges.
And each of the characters are really down to earth characters are actually relatable.
Very, and they're so diverse. Yeah, and they have very different experiences, outlooks on life, ages. And when I was watching, I was like, yeah, like almost anybody could relate to this. And each one of them has their own like storyline and character development. It's massive, like great story.
Yeah, the anime tells the story of the Kansas State University Track and Field Club, the
Yep,
long distance one.
that's
And
right.
it starts with, uh, I would say that the main character, Kakeru, he is running away with a stolen bread.
Yeah, stolen red. Yep, and I'm like, oh, Les Mis? Oh wait, no. But
Yeah,
yeah, he's just booking
he's
it.
he's running, and you
Yeah.
know you have the shopkeeper is
Uh-huh.
like mate, mate,
Yeah.
and she's like he's just
Thief.
literally making a run for it,
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
and he starts being chased by a dude in a bike, and he's like, hey,
Hmm.
do you like running?
And he looks over and he's just bewildered, like what the crap is going on?
Right, because it's
But
like you're
he's like,
stealing a bread, and the first thing
yeah.
you hear is like, do you like running?
Yeah, from a dude on a bike, but yeah, he just asks again, hey, do you like running? And the whole thing starts from there. It's crazy how this plays out. He is basically like, I don't even know, like pulled along to go to this live-in house. Uh, and they find out that they go to the same university, Kansai.
Yeah, this dude, his name is Haiji,
Hmm.
and he just takes Kakeru to their dorms, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, you know what? It's rent's really cheap, $300 a month, which, you
Yeah,
know, for college, that's pretty cheap.
it's still, yeah.
I don't even remember if I ever paid that quantity back in college. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I paid more.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, it was expensive.
And you know, food was included.
Yes, and that's the kicker. Food is included. And he goes around and he sees a bunch of other guys in the dorm. And I thought this was kind of funny how they kind of like go through everyone before they go back and show Kakeru's and Haiji's like rest of their encounter for the first time. But we meet everyone, and everybody is so unique. He goes through the dorm and he's like introducing everyone. He meets
The twins
the
are first.
twins.
Jota,
Joji. Oh yeah,
Jota
is
and
the older
Joji.
one. Yep, Jota and Joji.
They
They
are
look
first
exactly
years.
the same.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
their first years. I don't remember if they mentioned their major,
Ooh, I don't remember. Yeah.
but yeah, they also introduce Shindo. Bless his heart, Shindo.
I know, right? Shindo,
King,
Musa.
Musan. Man, in the dub version,
Oh yeah.
when Musan is introduced to him, he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Hey, this is
At the
Musan. This is
back.
our exchange student. He's an engineering one."
Oh yeah.
And you know, he was
Oh right.
looking at something.
Right.
On the dub, they didn't say anything. On the sub, they didn't say anything. On the
Oh,
dub
yeah,
version,
yeah.
he says like his eyes are up here. It was like, whoa.
Oh no. Oh dude. No, dude. Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny.
But yeah, we also have Nico Senpai,
Nico Senpai, yeah.
which is not the Nico ni. No,
Right,
it's
no,
Nico
no.
from Nicotine Senpai.
Yeah, it's the simplest thing ever.
He's also an engineering student. Oh, Shindo is, by the way, is a business major.
Oh yes.
King is a sociology major,
yep,
like
sociology.
Haiji.
And yeah, Haiji. Oh wait, Haiji literature.
Oh
but,
yeah,
but,
Haiji is literature.
But it is pretty close. It is like right up there.
Oh, Kakeru is sociology. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay,
but anyways, then we have
Prince.
Yuki.
Yeah, Yuki.
He's also a third year or 4th year, I believe. And he's a law major that he already passed the bar.
Incredible. On his first try.
Oh yeah, on his first try.
And they like, that's like,
yeah, they make emphasis on that for some reason.
First try.
And lastly, we have a Prince, unless that we're forgetting someone. I don't think we do.
Let's see.
He's a weeb.
That's right. There's like manga, mountains of manga in his room.
Best boy Prince.
That's right.
Man, out of all my characters, like my favorite was probably Prince
Oh
and
yes.
Shindo and Haiji were about the same level.
Oh, okay.
And then the rest of them.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But yeah, man, Prince.
Yeah,
I
Prince.
loved Prince because
Yeah, and yeah, I really relate to him a lot. Oh man, he's incredible. Yeah, Prince is so Prince. So they call him that because he pretty much has that air. He has that personality where he's like, pretty boy. Yeah.
After the introduction, they start having
Yeah.
the welcome party,
Yep.
and Kurahara is a bit a reserved guy. He's like, oh, they dragged me here. It's like I don't know what I'm doing here, and like they're having the party. It's like, hey, we're finally 10. It's like, yeah, this was Haiji's dream. He's just like, just one more, and
he finally has it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what he's talking about, but we're happy for him.
They're all like having a good time, and everybody's just chilling, and I don't even remember like how he does it, but he just springs on them that we're the track team, we're gonna run the
Hakone Ekiden.
Hakone, that's it.
Because he's like, hey, now that we're 10, it's finally time for me to reveal what I was planning. He's like, oh, it's a girl. He's like, yeah, guess what? Let's go have a trip or something. They're like, oh yeah, sure. Where do you want to go? Hakone. I mean, yeah, that's a good place, I guess. What are we taking? Plane, train, car, or 2 legs?
Yep.
What?
We're running there.
And yeah. He shows the plague of the house.
Oh yes, yeah.
And he's like, take a look at this. It's like,
and it's like fine print on the side.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the Kansas University track and for.
And they all just, oh man.
Yeah, man. During the following episodes, funny. We see Kaiji.
Ooh, yeah.
Convincing.
Oh, yeah. Each and every one of them at like their most vulnerable spots. And it's so great. He's basically coercing them, tricking them, and like bribing them in all different ways, but to basically like pressure them into running.
I mean, I think that the only one who was not bribed in any way was Nico Senpai.
Yeah.
But everyone else, the twins is like girls.
Yeah, they were tricked. Yeah.
King, hey, it would be really good on your resume. Because you're job hunting, right?
Yeah.
Shindo is like, hey,
like, don't you want your family to see you?
Yeah, because it's
like, oh, okay.
You will appear on TV. And like Yuki is like, hey, like you're going clubbing. I'll come along. It's not fair that only you get to party and then train. So I'll go party with you and train. Musa, like. At work, he's like,
oh, yeah.
Yes, Musa, we're friends. For life.
And I was the one who basically connected you to work at this place. So, oh, man, it's so great. And Prince, he does.
Oh, Prince was the best.
Yeah, it was.
Because he's like,
because Prince, he's in like the manga or like literature club, and he's like recruiting. He goes up to him.
He's like, yeah, I come here to tell you that if you're not part of the club, you need to move. You're kicking me out? No. Kicking you out, it's a really strong word.
But if you don't join.
But if you don't want to run, then you have to leave. Then you're kicking me out.
He's like,
yes, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So, he's like showing him the boxes. He's like, you know what? It's gonna take you a while. So like, hop.
Yeah, it's so great.
I mean, the funniest thing is that it only took 3 days.
Yeah.
In order, to blackmail everyone into running.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Yuki, he definitely pushed back and was pretty hard to convince, but he did eventually come over, since he was like the last one out. Yuki is funny, but yeah, it's amazing. He gets them all, and what he's doing is he's bringing them to morning runs, 3 miles, which is 5K.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure 5K, and so he has them run during the morning, and then he asks Hana-chan to be there at the end. It's so great, so funny. And then she starts to like time them, but yeah, throughout this whole thing, each one of them comes and starts running with high G and gets pulled into it.
It was just so funny how even after he blackmailed them, he was still, like, he just knew them so well.
Oh, I know, right?
Because like by starter, just by cooking their dishes they loved, and also by bringing a girl, and the girl was like, please do your best, and they're like, yes.
And they all perk up, every single one of them.
And then the next day, like in the morning, they were like,
oh yes,
like flexing and stretching,
yeah, giving it their all. Oh, it's great. Haiji,
and even even telling brainwashing Prince with anime quotes.
Oh yes, I think for this beginning part, Prince, he has of course everyone does need like help and some motivation to like get better, but Prince in this first part definitely was the one who struggled the most, and I love,
especially because the butterfly was faster, and he was like,
oh yes.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons why I love Prince at the beginning, because like he was doing like almost 40 minutes in 5K, so I guess I was a little better in comparison.
Right.
He was improving exponentially, as in comparison with the rest of the team. But this was all just practice,
right? And not even really training, just kind of like morning jog almost.
Essentially, yes.
Essentially, yeah.
We are introduced to, I wouldn't say antagonists, but it's one of the characters that you don't really like, or at least from my side, I was like, what the heck is this dude doing here?
Yeah.
And then after watching the rest of the anime and watching it over again, I was like, what the heck is this dude going? Because like he sees Kakeru, he sees the rest of the team, and he decides to go and talk crap about not only Kakeru but about the team. He's like, oh, so you are lowering your level and to match these losers basically.
Yeah.
And he just starts talking crap until
you're taking running lightly and all that.
Yeah, and Kakeru, he clearly was like, dude, I don't want to deal with this right now. And Prince had to put him in his place.
Dude,
say like,
Prince is he's definitely.
He's like, that's why I hate about you guys. Like, everything's ranking, everything's being fast, everything's being the best. It's like, that's not enough. It's like, I don't know if these guys are my friends. And like, hey.
Oh yeah, everybody's like, hey. And then he's like,
but they accept me, even though like I struggle with this. They're not like giving me crap about it. They know that we're just starting because we're amateurs.
And they support me. And then he just like
he dies.
No. Yeah, he like flops over. But yeah, he gives that basically speech, and that really made him the MVP in my mind. just saying that, because it's like, well, that's kind of like the theme for the first half of this anime, I guess you could say. Kind of like that theme of, yeah, people run, and anybody can run, but even with like levels or rankings or times, if you're like running, giving it your all, then yeah, go for it. And yeah, Prince, he just embodies that to me. He's amazing. And that guy's name, his name is Sakaki.
Sakaki, yes.
Sakaki, yep. So Sakaki, we kind of get the feeling by how they're talking that they knew each other, Kakeru and him. And we learn a little bit later they were in high school together.
I don't like him, and I will try to talk a little bit more about him.
Oh yes,
close to the end.
Oh yes,
but yeah,
definitely
these are morning jogs, and Kakeru knows it, and he's telling like Haiji, like, hey, dude, like, what you want to do, it's not possible. Like, we have to qualify to have actual records from competitions in other universities if we want to even qualify for the qualifier.
And I was like blown away by this, because it's like Prince is still running 30-minute 5Ks, and yeah, Kakeru, he's the basically reality, bringing reality to Haiji, but Haiji is like insistent. But yeah, I think it's interesting how each one of them comes to grips with kind of like this conflict between the two of them. So it's like the first obstacle, get down to the times to qualify.
Yeah. They have this wall that they have to pass.
Yeah.
Kakeru tells them like, yeah, you won't be able, and Haiji says like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna be alright, we're gonna go to the meet, we're gonna run,
and then
and we'll see it from there. Reality. We'll see it from there.
Yeah.
And that happens.
That's right.
The only ones that actually get a record, it's Haiji and Kakeru.
Yep.
Everyone else didn't make it. In order for you to make a record, you have to run 5K or 3 miles in less than 16 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yes. 16:30.
And this first meet, they did really bad, and Kakeru, he was like frustrated. He's like telling him like, you see that, like, that's what I was talking about, like, you guys kind of do it. And then he was frustrated, and he went home running while everyone else survived the ride back home. And
IG, what a guy. Yep.
During this time, Kakeru also has a few flashbacks, or you actually see some flashbacks, a few of them, of when Kakeru was in high school, but nothing really concrete.
Yeah, it's something, there's like some person like on the ground. It seems like he may have hit him, but yeah, it's all very like disjointed and like not really connected to anything.
Yeah. He arrives back at home. Everyone is having a review session.
Yeah.
Which he's like, this is not a review session. It's like, we should be actually reviewing, like, going through the times, keep running again. And they're like, no,
but it's like a party.
Like, dude, chill. Like, you need a chill pill. Because also, like, Kakeru has been doing these for a really long time. So, from the point of view of someone that just started, like, just running and running, it's it's not healthy. And Kakeru's still, mad.
Oh yes.
And it's more like he's mad at himself, because he's like, you can't do this. Like, you're too slow. And it's like, dude, like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
He's like, you have a record? He's like, we're also like working towards it. It's like, it's not like we're gonna make it like in 1 month, 2 months. And I think that at that time only like less than a month had passed.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it wasn't reasonable what Kakeru was asking them.
Yeah.
But Kakeru was like, no, it's like the actual Hakone race. It's on January 2nd, and the qualifiers is sometime on December. So like, you guys are not gonna make it. Their training is intensified at the point that they start jogging. Also, on the evening, King gets a little pissed because he's on his last year.
Yeah. He's really stressed.
We know the pressure of like
definitely.
job hunting, like after college, and he's like, man, it's like this is a hobby, right? This is not the place where like my focus should be on.
Yeah.
And also especially Japan, because like in Japan, as far as anime has taught us is that once you get a job after college, that's most likely the job that you will have for the rest of your life.
Yep.
I guess that kind of like in that sense, here in the States it's a little different because
very, very different.
You'll be switching jobs regularly until you find whatever fits you better.
Yeah.
But
yeah, King, he basically stops coming to practice, doesn't really like socialize with anybody. He goes to his room, and everybody feels it basically. But I really like when he's convinced, when Haiji, he talks with him before he goes inside. He tells him like, yeah, you're really like focused on that stuff, like getting a job, something in the future, but like right now you can run and basically focus on that.
Man, I was like, this anime, I liked it, and at the same time, it kind of made me mad because it.
Really?
It touched some like like a sensitive part inside me that I was like. That is like, I know it's true, but
I see. Yeah.
Because like one of the things was that Kim was like freaking out because he didn't have a job, and Haji told him like, hey, you're here right now to support us, and he's like, what the you said?
Oh, true.
And then he was like, hey, like don't misunderstand, like I'm also here for you guys. But Kim is like mad because he's like, no, like this doesn't cut it. And anyways, like even after King attitude changes towards running and he decides to run, when they had all the shirts, how Kakeru, like everyone was like, hey, this shirt. Kakeru was like,
oh yeah, he suddenly starts putting it on. Yep.
Or like King was like, okay, you know what, like sure, like I'm gonna let it rest, not gonna be stressed about like the future so much, and try to focus on what I can do. And again, how Shindo, like, bless his heart again, because he's like, hey King, like I'm also gonna use it as well, like I'm also gonna wear it as well. Like Shindo was like the glue of the team.
He was
But even after every time that it seems that the group had come together, then it was like, oh, not quite, not yet. So they had a lot of moments where like it seems that for every kind of like time that they would get closer, then something would happen. It's like, oh,
that they would like fall apart,
and then they would come even closer.
Right.
And that team thematic of like, oh yeah, like power of friendship, like like genuine power of friendship, with backup stuff and not just like the word itself. As a lot of time anime is like, oh yeah, power of friendship. And like there's nothing to back it up, but with this one was like, yeah, you know what? Like we're here, we're in this together, we're gonna work hard. Right after the King incident and everything else, they have the next thing that Haiji wants to propose, because he wants to make the training, even tougher. He's like, yeah, you know what? Like those are morning jogs, those are evening jogs. We have kind of like night training and actual practice and long distance running and pace running and all of this. And they're like, oh, and you're not allowed to work.
Oh yeah,
man! Like when I watched that part, I was like, man, I'm so mad. Like I would have dropped it definitely.
Oh, I would have dropped it too. Yeah, yes.
Because
you're like in college, and
they were in college, and they were like, you know what? You can survive with your
basically.
allowance, meaning like, okay, your parents help you, but man, I was like, I was kind of like putting myself there. And I was like,
I couldn't have done it.
my parents, like, yeah, my parents did help me to pay the tuition, like for one semester or so, for my first couple of years. But then, my senior year, it was all up to me and also all my bills. I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I would have done it, and
yeah,
I would have hated to go on debt. So I was like, man, I love their dedication, but screw you, I wouldn't.
Absolutely.
That was I guess that was the only part that I was like, you had me at the beginning, so like, no, I'll just keep watching and running for fun. I did actually go for a race. I did actually participated on a race, on a 5K race for the Freedom Run.
Oh, okay.
On the 4th of July.
Gotcha.
That's the only one I was dying.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. I mean, it does feel, you feel the energy of, your surroundings, like all the people, like, cheering, or the people running, like, even though you're like throwing up your guts, you're like, man, I can still do it.
Right.
And at the end, you're like,
oh yeah, like, can I actually, and it's literally just the inertia that's keeping you going. Yeah, I remember. Well, anyway, yeah. Oh man, it's incredible. But yeah, for them to dedicate themselves after Haiji says that, yeah, they.
But yeah, nevertheless,
still do it.
They comply.
Yep.
And they realize that they don't have money. So they're still like, oh well, you know what? What about our fan club? It's like, oh well, let's do this and that. They're still like, doing a web page, selling the wire dolls that Nico was making from the time that he stopped smoking, and they're still doing a lot of things. And Kakeru is still not satisfied. He's still like, no, you guys are like half doing this.
Yeah. And he even confronts Prince when this all comes to a head. He confronts Prince and tells him, yeah, if you don't get a qualifying time, quit. And it's very, very unfair. Like, he does it, he does that, and Prince, kudos to him, he doesn't really like react in any negative way, but he still sticks around. But yeah, Kakeru, he really is struggling with this, since they're all kind of different in where they're at. He really is affected by that.
We have the next meet. They still nobody passes. Kakeru is not allowed to run, but he looks at his companions and he sees that they're not half doing this. They're actually
putting everything on the line,
like all the way. And he sees them and he's like, oh crap. It's like, yeah, I was wrong. He starts cheering them. Like Kaiji is like
oh yeah, Haiji goes all out, and it's to the point where even Prince, he like starts he like starts talking. Everybody else is yelling. It's so funny. But yeah, it's incredible because Haiji, he has this whole big picture what's going on, team composition, and he does that, and Kakeru realizes, everybody is working as hard as they can, and he couldn't see it before only because he was at the front of the pack.
Yeah. And oh man, like he sees that everyone's there working together, and again you think like, oh man, like the group is stronger, and then tragedy happens again because Haiji is overworked.
Yep.
Like,
dude,
he passes out, and everyone is like, man, it's like.
Yep.
Now that I think about it, like Haiji cooks, Haiji does all the registration. He came up with
planning,
or like training regimen, planning, all of this. Like, man,
manager, coach, acting, all of those roles, and yeah, it just got to him.
But it is during this time that he was out that Kakeru gets closer to Prince. Man, honestly, I thought that Prince was Kakeru's best friend.
Dude, okay.
Because you know, like he was close with Haiji, but their relationship was more like he admired Haiji.
Yes.
And so he was kind of like, oh man,
like senpai.
But it came to a point where he was kind of like level-headed with Prince in a way that he was a noob at being a weeb.
They read together in this room. Oh yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Because you're like he was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I wanna get to know you better, like, and this and that, and he's like, you're like if you want manga, like romance, is it fine with you? Because like, it was Prince, the same Prince that told the twins at the beginning to go buy their own manga.
Yeah.
And with Kakeru was like, oh yeah, here, dude, have this manga.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, I think it is that
and it was also
Kakeru approached him with.
And it was also because like just as Kakeru hit everyone with reality, like Prince also hit him with reality. Kind of like because he was running and Kakeru was like, dude, you're not improving. He's like, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Kind of like in Prince was like, let me ask you, because he was running. He's like, since when are you fast? Like elementary school, junior high? Like, of course, you're a genius. You have been doing this a lot of years.
Oh yeah.
Try talking at my speed.
Yeah.
So it's like, just like sprint as fast as you can and have a conversation with me. Like, let's see if you can do it. And he's like, man, it's like,
dude, yeah. For Prince to stand up for himself and like tell that to
man, like
that was incredible.
It's like Prince never let anyone to step over him. It's like
he made
Sakaki, he put him in his place. Kakeru, he put him in his place.
Yep.
But
he's amazing. He's so cool.
Like on Prince's room, like they were talking and Kakeru was like, why are you reading? It's like, hey dude, it's like, you have your stuff, I have my stuff. Leave me alone. And he's like, I got it. And he devised this ridiculous plan of having Prince run while reading manga.
Right.
And he's like,
and it was on he was like on the treadmill reading, and he would read like this, but whenever he runs, he like struggles and his arms flail, and he's always like bent over. But it's because of that. Reading manga, sitting down, he would always like bend down and have odd arm positions. But only when he was reading on the treadmill, he had like a good posture.
Right. That was funny.
And it's a really it's a really silly solution, but it's so tailored, it works like a charm. And he also starts holding the manga in front of him while they're running out. It's so great, like really cheering him on. And I think it's that kind of like magic that happens there, that when Haiji comes back and sees them, that he kind of admits to Yuki that, you know, I didn't plan on this, but it's one of those things that like happen naturally, and it takes a load off of my shoulders.
Oh,
but
man.
Seeing Prince,
that was so funny.
that was awesome.
It's not as stupid if it works.
That's right. Yeah.
But oh boy, yeah. During this time, the next ones to get a record, it's Musa and the twins.
Musa and the twins get it.
The next ones, it's Yuki. Yuki and Shindo.
Yep.
And then we have Nico and King.
Nico-chan senpai and King, they take a little while. They do.
All of them are in different meets. And you know, we still have.
And it's crazy because you know the meets. It's college. You know, I've done track meets back when I was in high school. I did the mile and 2 mile, and that was like, geez, I don't remember what the schedule was, but for the colleges in this anime, it's like every 2 weeks there's a meet that they could go to, and it's crazy. Like, I don't think I did that every 2 weeks. Granted, not everybody is running every single time. If so, that would have been way crazy. But yeah, it takes a little while, but they finally do it. King and Nico-chan senpai, they qualify. I don't think it's like too hard, or there weren't any particular difficulties, at least with them.
Before Prince makes it to the qualifier, the last ones to qualify that were Nico-chan senpai and King, they go to training camp in the mountains. And this part was also really funny because, you know, they go to this cabin and it's all run down. They find the guys from Tokyo Sports University, and they're like, man, like randomly. This, like, what's wrong with these guys? It's like, we always find them everywhere.
I know, right?
And man, they were being soft jerks.
Oh, they were, and they were like,
especially Sakaki, and you know, like I like this part, and it's appropriate to talk about it now because during this time, it's when Kakeru is having flashbacks again. Of his time in high school, and what I really liked was, you know, there's these memories that were kind of like clouded, or you know, the color was kind of blurred, washed out, and also the audio seemed kind of like with static.
Oh yes,
you know that he was spacing out. Everyone was running training. It's like, hey, like Kakeru, like, are you with us? And it's like, yes, I'm okay. And all of this was Sakaki triggering it, because Sakaki was like, what? Are you gonna hit me? And everyone was like, whoa, like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, that's how you destroy a freaking team, you Kakeru. Because he was about to hit freaking Sakaki. He's like, yeah, that's how you destroy a team. Because, like, aren't you glad you have friends now? And he's like, grrr. Like, to the point that he had to be stopped by, like, four people. Because he was literally, you know, had some anger issues.
Yep.
And Sakaki was just, like, putting fire to...
stoking fire.
Yeah. But you know, when he decided to confront it, how he was just kind of like, okay, let's just accept this. I love the transition from the static audio to kind of like present time kind of thing. It's like, and he starts hitting like the coach.
Yeah, the previous coach.
And
from
coach is like, Kurahara. He's like,
yeah.
Because man, like you have the entire flashback of how like the coach practices were really crappy.
Ooh, yeah.
Because he was favoring Kurahara when, Kurahara was good at the sport.
Oh, yes.
But the coach was comparing everyone to Kurahara.
Yeah. And treating everyone else like trash.
Yeah. And telling them like, oh, yeah, you know what? Kurahara, he won. He's going to go in the truck to his house. You guys are going to run back to the school.
And he also...
And that was the punishment for them losing.
Yeah.
And did you notice, like, on the first meet, what did Kurahara do?
Ooh.
He went running back home.
Running. Oh.
You know, like, Kurahara was
he was still, like, held back from that traumatic experience.
Because, like, he didn't like it, but, like, that was his way of, I guess, paying for his loss. And then he was still obsessed with speed because his coach was obsessed with speed, and it came to the point where Haji was like, dude, like, not everything is speed. It's like, yes, like, we need speed. He's like, I'm not gonna fight you on that. We need speed.
Yeah.
But the means to obtain that speed or to obtain those times are not the ways that you want to go. And he opens up to the rest of the team, and the team is like, hey dude, like, we're good.
They're all great. They all basically accept him and like say, hey, we're gonna keep working because that's what we do.
And that's the other part that I didn't understand freaking Sakaki. Because like, he was accepted. Probably it was not a really prestigious running school from what they say, but Tokyo Sports University had been a seated school before. I mean, it was not Rikudo University, where Fujioka, which we haven't mentioned him, but but
top of the college scene of running.
And his school is like seated every year, and they've been winning the Ekiden on first place for 4 years in a row.
Yep.
But Sakaki was like, he was in a good team. There was no need for him to be such a jerk, especially with people that you didn't even know.
Right, and it has been a year. It's been, and it's like totally different situation and scene. But for him to still have that huge like grudge against him, because
it also was not healthy for him. Like, if there was a person that did you wrong, because like,
maybe not personally, but it affected you.
Yeah, but it affected you in like
big way.
You just get the heck away from that person.
Exactly,
because he's not healthy for you.
Yeah, and exactly, just get away from that.
But what was Sakaki doing? He was just like coming back, trying to tell like, hey, Kurahara, I'm not in here because of you. Like, I'm on this school because of you. And what are you doing with low-level run-ins? And like, dude, it's like,
seriously, just leave him alone. Yeah.
It's like, just live your life, freaking Sakaki.
Yeah.
Man, I was so happy at the end of the anime.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like,
with the embarrassing. Well, it was kind of like a defeat, at least for Sakaki. It's true.
But I was so happy because man, like,
oh yes,
that'll teach you, because
that's right.
Because like, he was like saying, oh yeah, you guys are just doing this for fun. Like, we'll show you what it's like to run, and we'll beat you.
Always putting that.
And I like how the rest of the team was like, whatever, dude. Yeah. Tug with the hand. and
seriously,
and that'll make him just even
first year
even madder, because he's like, listen to me complain about you.
Right. Yeah, man. He was definitely on a high horse.
But after the training camp, now this time for sure we have, like, real power of friendship on the works.
Yep.
And finally, Prince makes the qualifier.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, just like, can you write something?
Oh, right.
And
something
yeah,
on my arm.
he writes forward, and he makes the qualifier. He makes really good time.
Yeah.
And now they're ready for the qualifiers.
Yes.
The qualifiers, it's a 20-kilometer race.
Starting at an airport.
Yeah, starting at an airport, and I think they're also finishing at the airport. So it was kind of like an entire loop, right?
Yeah, they loop around, they go out. I can't remember where they finish. But yeah, they get ready for it. And it's
and they have to finish on the top 10 in order to actually qualify to the Hakone Ekiden.
To qualify. And they all run at once. And it was really intense, because this is where they kind of see how the qualifiers and what the competition is like for the first time. And they're like,
and I remember they mentioned how many people actually run, right? It was like 200 and something. No, 500 and something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like 586, I remember.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a insane number.
The schools needed minimum 10 participants, a maximum of 14, but only the 10, highest, the 10 fastest times were going to be recorded. And the overall, that would be how they would get the qualifiers.
Yeah.
And everyone was doing great. Like Kakeru
he was on fire.
Man,
he blew my mind, because like running and it's the foreign exchange students who are at the front, the black guys there, and they just are light years ahead of everyone else. But Kakeru, he just catches up, and he's like right there with him. Wow, blows my mind. But yeah, everybody did incredible.
I really like how Kakeru, when he was running, it was kind of like on this different plane of existence.
Yeah,
that he was just here in this kind of like celestial kind of like
we haven't
embodiment.
We haven't mentioned that. Yeah,
like every time that Haji saw Kakeru run, he was like, man, it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
and he's like a glowing form with one single white line at his feet.
Yeah, and it was Kakeru being on the zone, like the runner's high. And like he was running, and it's like freaking flash.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, man, he's so freaking fast.
Yeah.
And Haji was like, man, he looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And everyone was running. There were no major hiccups.
Yeah, nothing too bad. Even for Haji, where there was an accident like right in front of him with a table some guy hit, he was able to mostly avoid by side leaping and continuing. I was like at the edge of my seat right there, because he has that injury, and that's the thing that haunts him, is that injury from like years ago.
From high school.
It was high school.
I think it was just like the muscle itself was
okay. Yeah, so no major hiccups. Everybody goes in, and the results come out, and they're all really, really nervous.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Because they're going on and on.
Yeah, because the first place is freaking Tokyo Sports University.
Naturally, yep.
And then it goes like this, because Rikudo University, they were already seated.
Yeah, that's right. So they're guaranteed a spot.
So this race was there were actually like 21 schools. 20 or 21? Yeah, 21.
21.
10 of which were already seated. So the remaining ones, they needed to qualify.
Yeah.
And so they start naming the schools, and they're like, man, it's like, yeah, of course, we knew we were not gonna be like the first ones, but they're like 7, 8, oh freak,
9.
yeah, because you're also like, don't do this to me. It's like, don't do this.
Freaking
It's like
sports
10,
anime.
Kansai University, and they're like,
Yeah. Yep.
like,
It's
man, and you're like, yes.
yeah. It's amazing.
And okay, like they made it, everything's happy, but now it's like, okay, we're gonna prepare it. It's just like a couple weeks away.
Yep.
They have, the New Year's celebration.
Yeah.
And now
Christmas
we're
and
getting
New
ready
Year's.
for the race.
And now that's right. And so how the Hakone works is that everybody gets a section.
Yeah, it's a relay race.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
According to Wikipedia, this is actually a race.
It is.
So it's not fictional.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we can even show the map.
Yeah,
here,
it's a college. It's a college relay race. It's 2 days, 2nd and 3rd of January, and it's televised, and it's a distance on the first day of 107.5 kilometers.
Crazy.
And the second day it's 109 kilometers, and it goes like, probably there's a map here.
Oh yes.
So all the way, like kind of like across the coast, and so they start, and even they mention these on the anime. So the first section on January 2nd, it's 21.3 kilometers from Otemachi, in Tokyo, to Tsurumi, Yokohama. The second section, 23.1 kilometers from Tsurumi to Totsuya. Third section, 21.4 kilometers from Totsuya to Hiratsuka. The fourth section, 20.9 kilometers from Hiratsuka to Odawara. And the last section of the day, 20.8 kilometers, which is a lot of inclines, from Odawara to Lake Ashi in Hakone. Actually, let's just talk about the first day first.
Oh yeah, that'd be easy.
So yeah, the first day, the first section, we have the following order: Prince.
Yep.
Musa. Jota, Joji, and Shiro, and Omen. Like the first section with Prince, I loved it because everyone has kind of like their own monologue.
Yeah,
because I mean it's kind of like a self-reflection. It's 20 kilometers, so it's like you have time to think about yourself.
Yeah, though it's freaking long, and when you're running, you literally aren't occupied, like you can't do anything else. Like your hands, you're just like looking, and yeah, I think I've never really run much more than 5 miles at any single time. So yeah, like this much time, and even running like 3 miles at one time, you think a ton. So yeah, this amount of time, each one of them, it's pretty amazing how they show each one.
Yeah.
And like their lives, what they're thinking about, because each one we see a lot more background than the rest of the anime.
Yeah, for example, like Prince. I love Prince again. This is why I love Prince, because he's like, you know what? I feel like I'm a protagonist. Yeah. And he starts referencing, even quoting, like from Hashime no Ippo or Slam Dunk and Yawamuchi no Pero, of like, I'm strong. He's like, everyone that works hard don't always make it.
They always make it.
And like,
he even tells some of this to Haiji.
Yeah, he tells like,
it's like,
he's like, you know what? Like, I not only admire the main characters, and he starts mentioning like, oh yeah, Ippo, Hinata, Captain Tsubasa, and from all these classic sports anime. It's like, I also admires the characters that help build up the main ones. It's like, man, and
it really hits home.
The thing was that Haji had also prepared different points during the race, things to tell them.
Yeah.
Kind of like to pump them.
He's like a mom.
Like, man.
He's like their mom, yeah, throughout this whole thing. And he chooses Prince for this first part because of his personality, his way of kind of, I want to say they kind of mentioned it as blending in with the crowd, not standing out. And he is kind of there and will stay consistent, or I guess calm, in this first part of the first leg of this race. And Prince, he does phenomenal with this. He's there and he's with the pack some of the way, but he's there right behind, and it's amazing because he doesn't stand out. He doesn't have to stand out, but it's those strengths of himself that comes out, and he just sticks with it. He's awesome.
We have the next one, which is Musa. Musa, it's I also really liked Musa because he's this pretty chill dude. His exchange, he comes from Tanzania, right? Yes. And his exchange student, he's on a scholarship from the government to study engineering. When a lot of the other exchange students in this race are actually there to race,
right. right and, on scholarship for that.
And they mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, Musa, he's a really special case because he's actually here for engineering.
Oh yeah when they have him in the camera,
and he had no experience in running up until the last spring, and Musa is like, oh,
and he bows.
Man, it's like
he's so humble.
Musa is more Japanese than a Japanese.
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's kind of like if you want to live in Japan, you have to be more Japanese than a Japanese.
Oh, right.
In order for Japanese people to accept you. And kind of like now it's more of a common knowledge of like if you're a foreigner and if you want to live in Japan, you have to be more Japanese than the average Japanese. Because like even the other exchange students that also run on the second section, how at the end after he was done running, he was like bowing. He's like, man, these guys are also more Japanese than
that. Actually, I was blown away by that because he does do that. Musa, he was chosen for the second leg for his approach to running, to be like, to take it bravely, calmly running. And it was kind of interesting that he got strength from the voices of the people cheering for him, and he's just consistent and he's strong in this part. He does kind of go a little bit faster than he should have. He's a little bit above pace, but he gets strength from everybody. And I would say because of his personality, he's very I guess you could say like Japanese. It's true. Very sociable, very quiet, but very humble. Yeah, that sticks out.
Taking showers at like
right,
with all the lights out.
With the lights off, I was like, dang, serious.
I've done it. It's really peaceful. I
really
like every now
lights
and then, like when I'm finished editing, I'm like, you know what? I just take a shower with the lights off. Like it is so good.
Wow, like very calming.
Yeah, it is calming. It's like, man, yeah, it's like just here chilling. The next two sections, which I want to cover really quick because these guys made me mad.
Really? Okay.
Freaking twins.
Okay. I like the twins because they were a laugh.
I mean,
every time they were there.
Yeah,
they were funny.
They were the jokesters, and you know their monologue from Jota was like, hey, my brother and me, we're really different with the girls we like, and you're like, like after that, you're like, yeah, the girls you like, sure.
Oh, okay.
It's really different.
Well, true. That's a good point.
Because you're like, he was like, oh yeah, my little brother, he's here for the running. He's gonna do it. I'll probably call it quits. And he's running the best he can. Right. But then Hannah is like your time. Like,
oh, okay. Okay, I agree. Like, this part, he is kind of
Wait. Does she has a crush on me? And he's like,
yep. He keeps going.
You know, as soon as he's about to pass the sash to his brother, he's like, hey, I think Hannah likes me. And his little brother is like,
serious?
Say what?
Say what? Okay, that's true. That was kind of
because you're like that breaks the entire focus of freaking Joji, and everyone is like, you idiot! Like, why do you do it?
It does cause a panic, and Joji starts to be a little bit shaky. But okay, that's true. They were kind of like in that light. I also like them as a triplet. I kind of see them kind of being similar to me with like growing up. There is someone who's always there, and like and what Jota said, it is kind of like your soul, or like a part of you for your brother, like going off and doing his own thing. I did like that, but that's true. They were kind of
I did like that because I
distracted.
Because it's like, man, especially because we haven't mentioned it yet, but there's one more drama because it's like,
it does.
It's like, man, it came to the point where Kakeru had to tell him, like, if you like her, run. And I just love because the coach said that.
Yes.
And I don't know if you noticed, but the driver right next to the coach.
Oh yeah, he
stared at the coach really weird, and he was like, I was told to say that, okay? Don't judge me.
He was getting a little embarrassed himself.
But then he was like, oh shoot! He's like, I'm gonna run, and then he realizes, I like Hannah too. I guess I'll have to fight my brother.
Yeah.
But we cut to the last portion of the day, which is Shindo.
Shindo. Dude, this broke my heart.
Man, I was the same. It's like that entire rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Which with Shindo, I was like, man, it's like stop running, man. It's like, like please do it,
please. So
man, it broke my heart.
It did,
especially because his family was watching. All the family.
I know, right?
It's like this big party. It's like, hey, is this Shindo's part? And everyone, was having a good time.
Yeah.
Then they saw him, and like
and his
freaking
family.
Japanese television that had their eyes only on him. He's like, the first place, whatever. Let's go back to Shindo, who's suffering.
And they, that's true. And oh man, it broke my heart because he did get, or at least he did kind of realize his dream of what Haiji told him. If you run in this race, you'll be on television, your family will see you.
And he was also one of the most pumped to actually run on the Ekiden. And then
he actually was like all for it. Like truly. Also, we didn't mention Shindo did have a girlfriend, but then she broke up with him because
that girl,
like I didn't agree with her logic. Yeah, sure, he was focused on running probably more than their relationship. True or not, she leaves him. She shouldn't
man,
have.
but like,
She didn't have to, but she did.
Man, poor
Yeah,
Shindo.
she
They did him. They did him wrong.
They did, yeah. Shindo,
Because
but
you
yeah.
see him struggling,
yeah,
passing out, literally.
well, yeah, his eyes, his vision was like a little, almost blacking out. I'm not sure. I think he had a fever, maybe more than just a cold.
Oh yeah, he definitely had a fever.
He was probably a little nauseous because he was also very
yeah, probably even
like shaky.
a sore body. Like overall,
Okay.
you know, when you feel like that, or
Yeah.
it's like runny nose that you
Yeah.
cannot even breathe.
Ooh, dude, no.
And you know, it was freezing temperatures.
Yeah, it was
freezing temperatures, and you're just like running with
Minuses.
shorts, and you're like,
dude.
you're like,
and
man.
What got me though was that, you know, like, yeah, he's stopping in the middle of the race. He's being told, hey, if like you stop, no one will blame you. Everybody will. Well, if that happens, you know, that's the end. But it was amazing to me because we didn't even get a lot of what he was thinking at first. It was silent. We just saw him running.
Everyone had their monologue. It's like their inner thoughts. It's like, yeah, we're doing great.
Right.
And, you know, but the other guy's like, oh yeah, thinking about the girl I like.
Right.
Shindo was like, please, I hope I don't die. And but he was not even saying that. He was like, you know, and you have like a first person view and everything's
and that's
sluggish.
What you get.
And you're like, man, like,
it blew my
it's like
mind,
it's fine. It's like, you prove your point. You can make it to Hakone.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just finish the anime.
Yeah. But yeah, amazing. He keeps running.
Yeah.
And
he made it. We also see, you know, kind of like a nasty side of the Japanese media on the next day on the paper, where they're like, oh yeah, they were unprepared. They didn't have enough people. This is their downfall. It's like, they shouldn't have done that. It's like,
they even pull up. It may have been around then, maybe before, but they even pull up like Kakeru's past.
Oh yeah, that was before the qualifier.
It's like
before
then.
Oh yeah, that was that freaking reporter.
Too. That's what I hated the most.
Yeah, I didn't like that reporter because he was just like, hey, Kakeru, huh?
Right.
Because you're like, that freaking reporter was also like talking with Fujioka, telling like, oh, you're interested in Kansei, right? I don't think they're gonna make it. And like Fujioka, man, kudos to him, because like,
dude, yeah.
Excuse me. Like, he's like, yeah, you're not healthy for me, dude. Like, get the heck away from me.
Fujioka, he's real man's man.
Man,
yeah,
but Shido, like, he finishes the race dead last.
Yes. Yeah, and dead last.
You know, everyone was like, man, like, his will of iron,
right,
to finish this race, even though he was like that. And you know, now they're getting ready for the second day.
Yep.
The second day starts from Lake Ashi in Hakone to Odawara, and it's 20.8 kilometers. The next section, the 7th section, from Odawara to Hiratsuka, 21.3 kilometers. Section 8, from Hiratsuka to Totsuka, 21.4 kilometers. Section 9, from Totsuka to Tsurumi, 23.1 kilometers. And the last one, from Tsurumi to Otemachi, Tokyo, back when, they made a lap.
Oh, yes, basically, yeah.
Okay, so in these ones, we have Yuki.
He's going downhill.
Then Nico. Then King. Then Kakeru.
Yep.
And finishing with Haiji.
This is pretty neat because also when they're going out, they basically pair up with whoever's doing the section on the other way around. So we also see a little bit of like pairing up with all the guys and talking with each other. Oh, and also I like how they all keep going to the next part or to the end once they've finished their section. Yuki, he's like the brains of the group. He's very scientifically minded, smart, obviously with the major he chose, but he also is kind of like a loner. He's out here. He hasn't even really seen his parents, well, his mom, for years because she remarried, and he doesn't really know the guy. And that's like part of his flashback. He talked with I think it was
Kakeru, yeah.
Kakeru, that he talked with, that his family life isn't all ideal, but he's going down his section, and for him, it's kind of unique since he's going downhill. Man, running downhill is super hard. Yeah, running uphill is hard, running alone is hard, but when you're running downhill, it's not necessarily that you're running, but it's more like you just have to control not falling down. It's dangerous.
It's fun if it's, short.
Oh,
but
yes.
Like, man.
Oh, yes, like a grassy hill. Oh, yeah. But yeah, for him,
and he was going freaking fast.
Oh, yes.
To the point where he was like, man, this is like Kakeru, like
what he experiences.
This is like his world. It's like, man, it's nice.
Yeah.
But it sucks as well.
Yeah. He basically starts thinking to himself, yeah, I don't like, yeah, this is great, but I don't want this. This is not where I really like belong, but not where I want to be. And it's kind of interesting because he tastes that speed, but it is only because of its downhill nature. He goes and he's nearing the end, and then he hears someone cheering, and it's his mom.
Oh yeah,
that was really touching to me.
Yeah, I really like that part as well, because even there was a little kid with them, and like Oni-chan, because like, man, I was a jerk.
He was. And, that was kind of bittersweet because he kind of ends his section by, like remembering how much of a jerk he was. And his mom, in his memory kept smiling even though he was like that. So that was really touching. He finishes and passes it on to Nico-chan. And Nico says, I knew you could do it. Or, yeah.
Because he finished 2 seconds just before the actual record.
That's right. And the last thing we hear from Yuki is, yeah, that's a gap that's never closing. Oh, so interesting.
Yeah.
Nico-chan, oh man, I liked his part because, it's like Nico, he's like washed up, or that's kind of like the vibe that we get from him. Is he was told back in high school, yeah, you should quit track because it's like not suited for you or whatever. In the previous episodes we see that only when he's running he feels like clean or pure, which is pretty interesting to me. So he's running and he's just told by Haiji, yeah, just like
run to your heart's content.
Yeah.
And he's like, seriously? It. Like, no advice? Like, nope, just run. He's like, man. And, during his monologue, he's like, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm getting close to this guy. He's really skinny. I just busted him.
I'm right here. Yeah.
Look about this. He's probably not feeling good. I passed him as well.
Off his game or something. That was really surprising to me because, as you said, he didn't need to be like coerced or blackmailed by Haiji. He just runs because he likes it. It's amazing.
Yeah, he also makes a really good time. He gives the sash to King, which King had the
Ooh,
bad
yeah.
luck of running the same section as Sakaki.
Yes.
Because even though he got the sash from Nico before Sakaki did, Sakaki just went ahead and
passes him.
yeah, King was like, man, like damn it, he's like, I hate this.
Yeah.
And again, Haiji to the rescue was like, hey, King is like, you're good, you're doing good, you're doing great. Like, don't focus about like everyone else. And he started having his monologue, which his biggest concern is still finding a job.
Right.
And how he's like, if you're staying one more year, then I'll stay too, and we can run again.
His imagination. And then reality hits, and it's like, oh no, Haiji is gonna leave and find something else. And King's like, fine, whatever.
Yeah,
I think he was a
man.
I
identify with King a lot because he was like, man, I'm not having these. I'm not having this university experience, as the TV and / movies have sold it to me. It's always like, hey, man, I'm a loner. I'm strong. Yeah. I'm not letting anyone go through. And I was like, man.
Yeah.
I was feeling kind of like in the anime when you get pursed by the words. I was like,
yes. I went someone's yes. Okay. I
was like, King, chill, please.
yeah.
But really? Like he finds his way. He's like, no, like we're growing up. Like there's hope after this. Like if I was able to do this, then I'm able to do like a stupid job search,
right?
Job hunting is like whatever.
And only when he's running can he feel like he's himself. Because he doesn't have to like put on an air.
Yeah, because he's like, yeah, I'm alone, but I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And Haiji has been emphasizing this stuff of like, you're not running alone, because we're a team. So even if you're by yourself, like we're all holding ourselves, each other, like we'll make up for it.
Exactly.
He passes the sash to Kakeru.
We're counting on you.
Yeah, it's like we're counting on you. And he's like, "You got it, boss." Yeah. He starts like he was the only person that didn't have words of encouragement from Haiji.
Yeah,
because Haiji says like, "No, leave him alone in his world."
Yeah,
he's just gonna go somewhere else.
And dang, this is the run of his life. He goes for it. Oh, this is incredible. He enters his zone, and like every thought he has is all about running. It is amazing. Like for a comparison, everyone's monologue or like thinking beforehand had something to do with like
life
in general, or like, I'm doing this for other people, or like other people supported me kind of thing. But for him, Kakeru, it's just
running. Yeah,
he's so focused.
Yeah, I mean, I always love those transitions, and even the audio was like, and he's like, kind of like glowing.
Oh yeah,
and everyone was like, like the heck is happening? He's like, he's going fast, like he's going for it.
And the thing with him is that it's the second to last section, and the guy from Rikudo, Fujioka is also in this section, and it's like, well, he's like 10 minutes ahead of him, but they're all like watching Kakeru. Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
Man, yeah, that was great, because you know, like he has these like, doing great, I'm feeling great, just keep running, just keep running.
How my legs?
Yeah, he was just checking himself and just like, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling amazing, and everyone's like, look at him go!
Incredible.
And Fujioka, like Fujioka,
he sets a record.
He sets a record. 1 hour 9 minutes.
Yeah.
And everyone's losing their mind because it's like, man, he got first.
Yeah.
Even though they started second place on the second day, but
right,
he's already first. He broke a record.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what a day for the school! What a day for Fujioka. That like his last race, he did great, and he meets
like
Haiji, and Haiji is like, "Hey man, you killed it out there." And Fujioka is like, "You don't mean it."
Oh yeah, their relationship was very interesting to me.
Yeah, because Haiji is like, "No, I mean it." Is like, "No, you don't.
You don't mean it." Yeah,
it's like you're waiting for Kakeru.
Yeah,
because even like before the race started, Kakeru had a confrontation with Fujioka.
Ooh, yeah.
That Fujioka was like, well, I don't expect this race to go like as planned.
Ooh, yeah.
But we're gonna win because there are expectations behind us.
That's my determination.
And, like that's my job, and I'm gonna break a record. And
That's
Kakeru is like, you're gonna enjoy it for about 10 minutes because I'm gonna break it too. He's like, whoa! Kakeru became really proactive after opening up to his teammates.
Ooh, yeah.
And you know, like he finishes, everything's
and
fine.
Calmly too. That's the thing. He wasn't like emotional. He wasn't like in his face or anything.
He grew up like, a lot. My boy Kakeru.
That's right.
He finishes the race. He gives the sash to Haiji. Yep. He starts his way to the last section.
And everybody's losing their minds onto the side.
Prince was like, Kakeru! He's like, you did it, man! You did it! Yeah. Like 1 hour, 8 minutes, 59 seconds. And everyone was like, just 11 minutes after Fujioka. He's like, man, what a rain in their parade.
Yeah. With a short,
and they're like, hey, Kakeru, would you give us a word? It's like, let's go to the last portion.
We gotta go. And Prince is like, oh, I hate running. We gotta run more. Yeah, I really related to Prince.
And the guys on television is like, he just ran 20 kilometers and he's still running. What a monster.
He couldn't even get an interview. That was really funny.
Yeah. To finish up the last section, Haiji. Man, I really liked also his monologue.
Yeah.
Because he was at the beginning. I thought that his dad was the problem. That his dad was a jerk. Because a part of me thought that he was implying that.
Right. Or it had some sort of like grudge against him.
But his dad was not the problem. It was him.
It was Haiji.
It was his his mindset.
Yeah.
Because his dad, and in the flashback, his dad tells him like, just be patient.
Yeah.
And even during the talk where it's on his section that they make the transition to his house. He's like, oh honey, like, do you have to go? He's like, oh no, yeah, like the first practice of the year, it's January 3rd, gotta go. But he's listening.
He is listening to the race,
and he's like clutching his timer.
Right.
And it's like, man, like,
dude,
that was a good coach.
Dad,
and that was a good dad.
Good coach, good dad. Seriously, that's like goals right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like Haiji just because he mentioned like I'm weak. He's like, I couldn't do it. Yeah. I was impatient. Yeah. I messed up my knee.
And he even admitted to Nico-chan when they met. He admitted, yeah, I'm weak. That's why I'm not like running anymore or whatnot.
But man, yeah. After that, you gotta see that. So we're not gonna go a lot in details about that.
Moment. Yeah. He finishes the race.
And he was Kakeru was to him what he was to Kakeru.
Yes, that's basically the whole climax.
Because it was like the same coin, different sides.
That's right. Whereas Kakeru is kind of like a sheer blinding light, kind of like a bluish white light, of a beautiful form. Haiji is like a golden aura that just like is super radiant as he's running. Yeah,
and man, he is the 5th person to make it to the finish line.
Mm-hmm. So
incredible. And they end up
it's
in 10th place.
Position. Yep, 10th place, and they are seated.
They are seated
for the next year.
And they freaking beat Tokyo Sports University. And it's like, yeah, that's the part that I like the most.
Yes, yeah, freaking Tokyo.
That you know that they can that just Sakaki was like crying, and it's like, yeah, like that's what you get. It's like
that's right.
Karma's a.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. I think it was amazing, and you know, I think it was, of course, poetic justice with that, but also just the amazing finish, and it was a win for them. And you know, first place, sure, somebody else got it, but they showed what it was to be a top school, you know, a top tier
team. First try.
Their first try. That's what's incredible.
With a bunch of amateurs.
Yeah, and you know, Shindo, like
and
literally
one
stopped
person
and yeah, one person Shindo,
like, man,
he literally
like they
stopped
had so many
race.
handicaps.
Prince was the slowest on the first day, and you know, just it was incredible. And they did it with flying colors, and you know, throughout the whole anime, it was Haiji and Kakeru's question of, you know, what is running, and it's like, yeah, that goes into like, what is the meaning of running? Why do people run? But like that simple question
like
of what is running?
It's hard. It's painful. It's we're like, but we're still doing it.
Yeah, and like Haiji is the embodiment of what is running. That it was beautiful. It was amazing to me. And so we get a time skip, and man, it was a very like touching time skip. 3 years later, we say everybody comes back
when they're about to turn down the building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's like, you know, everyone's doing fine.
Yeah.
They asked they.
Oh yeah.
They asked Musa, and like,
right, because
like, so which twin was it? I think it was Georgie.
Seriously?
I think it was Georgie.
Oh, okay. Why? What?
I don't know.
Okay,
she became more flustered when Georgie was involved.
Ooh, okay.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
Because we do see. Okay. Gotcha.
But you know, he's like, I don't know. It's like, it's a secret. Yeah. It's like, oh man,
dang,
get him.
Musa. Yeah, Musa. He was. Oh my gosh. You know, I couldn't decide for myself. I couldn't figure it out. Hana-chan, you will always be a mystery to me.
But yeah, when we have the Kansai University School, like, they have a lot more people, and you know that's it. And I was like, man, like,
it's amazing.
That's a great story, because you know, I like sports animes.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of sports animes are shonen animes. And
yeah,
a
lot of the time
they are overly long. A lot of times they're too long for my own liking. Because like, yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't see a clear end. And you know, it's a sport, so it's never really gonna be an ending, because it's gonna be an open ending. It's like, oh yeah, they become professionals, this or that.
Okay.
But with this one, you know, like, the goal was the Hakone. They did the Hakone, and they're like, you know, life goes on, and you can guess, maybe they won first on first place the next year, or some of the other years. But sometimes that's my complaint. It's like, I love sports animes. I mean, some of the ones that they mentioned, you know, Slam Dunk.
Oh yes.
Slam Dunk, super long. Hashime no Ippo, super long. I Shield 21, super long. The anime didn't end, but you know, the manga, super long. And with this one, just like 23 episodes, I was like, man, like that was some good stuff. Like, it's like, yeah, you can enjoy, you can rewatch if you want, and you're not like, oh, there's like an even stronger racer that comes from United States or something.
Oh, sure.
You know, because it was always like, oh yeah, we beat this rival. Oh yeah, there's this Mexican guy that it's even stronger. This American guy, this Russian guy. It's like, oh,
okay. Right, short and simple. Gotcha. Yeah.
But oh boy, it was a great anime. Man, I think we took more time than I wanted. But
oh yeah, I didn't expect that, but it was amazing. It was really intense.
oh boy, yeah. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It should be available on Crunchyroll.
Yep.
And yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. One last time. The Hakone
Mountains are
steepest in the world. Actually, like, in English it says like the sharpest under heaven.
Oh,
the English dub.
okay. Cool.
But oh wait, yeah. Keep watching anime. We'll see you next time. Mata name.